Beneath the stones of Delphi, a voice once rose not to answer, but to awaken. High upon Mount Parnassus, where earth kisses the sky and clouds gather like ancient thoughts, there stood Delphi, the navel of the world. It was not built of stone alone, but of reverence, myth, and trembling hope. Here, mortals journeyed not to find gods, but to hear them in the heart of the temple. Beneath the carved hymns and sacred laurel sat the Pythia Apollo's chosen voice. She was no queen, no warrior, yet kings bowed before her. She inhaled the breath of the chasm, chewed the holy leaf, and sat upon the tripod as a vessel emptied of self. When she spoke, it was not in plain speech, but in riddled truth, as if the divine could only be glimpsed in shadows. Men came with questions, sharp as swords. Croesus of Lydia asked if he should wage war. The oracle replied, "If you cross the river, a great empire will fall." He crossed it. His own empire fell. Such was Delphi's wisdom, veiled, layered, demanding reflection. The power of the Pythia was not in her clarity, but in her mystery. Prophecy was never meant to comfort. It was a flame that exposed. She did not give certainty. She offered a mirror to the soul. Her madness was sacred, her ecstasy divine. In her trembling utterances lived the ancient paradox: fate is known, yet choice remains. Delphi was not a place one entered lightly. Pilgrims purified themselves in sacred springs. They climbed the winding path in silence, bearing questions too heavy for the world below. The air grew thin, the heart raced, and by the time they reached the temple, they were already changed. To stand before the oracle was to stand before one's own limits. Even the gods moved in riddles here. Apollo, slayer of the Python, ruled over light, reason, music, and madness. He had killed the old serpent of chaos, yet chaos still coiled. Beneath his sanctuary, the fumes from the earth, the deep breath of Gaia, remained. The oracle stood at that threshold between shadow and flame, past and future, reason and rapture. It was not always answers that the Pythia gave. Sometimes it was the burden of knowing and the weight of choosing. The oracle did not command, she revealed. It was the seeker who had to walk the path and pay the price. Asterisk, as centuries passed, Delphi became more than a shrine. It became a pulse in the heart of empires. Emperors, generals, and philosophers sought her words. Even Socrates bowed to her. Mystery, when she named him the wisest man because he knew that he knew nothing. But the oracle's truth was never easy. Orestes came, blood on his hands, haunted by the Furies. Apollo did not absolve him. The oracle pointed to war, justice, not peace. Redemption was not given, it was earned. Delphi was never about fate alone. It was about transformation. The ones who left with prophecy often departed not with clear paths, but with awakened souls. The oracle gave no maps. She offered fire. In time, the winds of belief shifted. New gods rose. The Christian world turned its back on Apollo, and the voice of the Pythia fell silent. The laurel grew wild. The temple crumbled. Yet the mystery endured, for Delphi was never truly a place. It was an encounter, a trembling moment between question and revelation, a silence filled with divine weight. The world may have forgotten how to listen, but the oracle had only changed her form. Now she speaks in dreams, in sudden intuition, in moments where time stills and something ancient stirs. Within Her voice lives on in the space between reason and wonder. To seek her now is to go inward, past noise, past distraction, into the sacred stillness. There, beneath the layers of thought, the tripod still waits, the vapors still rise, and the question, eternal, hovers in the air. Do you dare listen?